All right, good evening, everybody. Happy Sunday night. We've made it through another weekend, first full weekend of June, and it was hot outside. We had temperatures in the 90s across the area. Take a look at this live shot over the airport. It looks pretty cool. We have a little bit of a maroon to red sky. This evening sunset was awesome. We had some mid to high altitude clouds in the air, and it just really scattered the light in a really cool way from earlier this evening, this afternoon. But today's number is pretty warm out there. Was it 100 in San Antonio? No, but there were a lot of areas that were close to that, like Lackland, Stinson, Von Ormy. They were pretty close to that earlier today under a sunny sky, partly cloudy sky. Today's high, though, officially in San Antonio at the airport, 96 from a morning low of 78 degrees. Average is 72 in the morning and 92 in the afternoon. So both those numbers, both are observed daytime high and morning low. Both of those numbers are a little bit above average. Today's record stays in place from 1948 of 101 degrees. It was scorching back in the late 40s, 101. Okay, so it is a clear night. Next one day, next 24 hours is quiet. But Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, we could see a couple of thunderstorms move through. The next 3 to 4 days, trending a little bit different, a little bit more active. We're going to watch a couple of storms that develop out in West Texas. They will eventually move their way southeast, and some of those storms could move in our direction Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. On average, we're expecting like 1 to 2 inches of rain on average, just around the area wide. So that's between the Hill Country, the Metro of San Antonio, Lavernia down towards Pleasanton. Some more than others, and we're going to break down that forecast in a little bit as well. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. From Kevin, when will this humidity go away? Never. You know, I wish it would, man. You know, it's not until sometimes in the summertime, we can get dry fronts to move through, but when the humidity drops in June, July, August, that actually boosts our temperatures up. Dry air loves to heat up. And if we ever get a dry frontal boundary moving through, that actually can mean it being hotter. But, you know, it just depends on what you like more, dry heat or a humid heat. Humid heat is tough. It's terrible. But in San Antonio, we're all too used to it, unfortunately. So what you're saying is we're going to have drizzle. I hope not, Luis. I hope we have more than that. You know, will it amount to maybe a couple areas of light rain here and there? Probably, but there is a possibility Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday night, and then Wednesday we could see a couple of pockets of moderate to heavy rain. We're hoping that happens, though. We're hoping that happens. Jillian says, okay, Jillian. Oh, man, what's going on? What's going on? Go finish White Lotus. From Richard, will it be like 2 weeks ago? I don't think it's going to be that intense. You know, 2 weeks ago we saw, you know, in some areas between downtown San Antonio towards North Bexar County, like 4 to 6 inches of rain. That was 2 weeks ago. This next rain event, you know, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday this upcoming week might be, you know, 1 to 2 inches of rain. And that's optimistic. So I don't think it's going to be like 2 weeks ago. From Perfecto, dry. Yeah, we're dry now, dry tomorrow. It's going to be hot tomorrow, highs in the mid-90s. And then similar for Tuesday. It's just Tuesday and then Wednesday we have a possibility of seeing a couple of rain showers and thunderstorms in the area. Nothing better happened to Grandpa. I hope not. I hope not. You just have to watch, Jill. Be patient. Be patient. Okay, tropical satellite. We have nothing in the Gulf. Nothing that we're too concerned about. However, now remember in the Pacific Ocean, so there are two different names, two different slate of names. So the Atlantic hurricane season has 21 different names than the Pacific hurricane season. Now, for the Pacific hurricane season, they already had Tropical Storm Alvin, and now they're on the B storm, that is Barbara. Now, there's the C storm that was just named Cosme. I need to look at the pronunciation of the C storm in the Pacific Ocean. Matter of fact, look at this. This is interesting. So I'll go back to this map in a second. But here is the 2025 slate of names for the Pacific hurricane season, and then we'll contrast them with the Atlantic names. So it starts off with Alvin. We already had Alvin. Barbara's out there right now. Cosme, and then Eric, and then down to Mario, Lorena, Velma, Zena, York, Zelda. You know, these are interesting names. This is a very unique set of names for the Pacific hurricane season. Now, contrast that with this year's Atlantic hurricane season names. These are the particular storm names we look at for Texas, for the U.S., because the ones that form in the Atlantic are the ones that most likely, most of the time, 99% of the time, impact us here at home. Andrea, Barry, we have not seen a tropical storm yet in the Atlantic. Not yet. That might be happening soon. Dexter, Aaron, Karen, Lorenzo, Melissa, Tanya, Van, Wendy. Hurricane Karen, you know that's going to be a tough storm. But yeah, this is the name of storms and hurricanes for the Atlantic versus the Pacific. Again, each basin has their own set of names. And right now we do have Tropical Storm Barbara out there. And then, yeah, there we go. So right there, Tropical Storm Barbara. There we go. And then behind Barbara is an area of interest the Hurricane Center is watching, so we could get the D storm in just the coming days. But even if these storms materialize and strengthen, most of the model guidance have them just raining out, fizzling out in strength over open water, not impacting anyone at all. They're not expected to make any immediate landfalls. So heads up for Western Mexico, Cabo, not expecting anything major in regarding hurricane landfalls. Okay, tonight it is hot. 90 feels like 95 degrees outside. It's a little breezy. Here are temperatures area-wide. 84 at Bernie, 87 in Stockdale, 87 at Seguin, 91 at Moore, 92 at Hondo. Similar numbers across the area. We have mid-90s across the Rio Grande, from 95 in Del Rio to 97 Eagle Pass. It's 9 o'clock at night, almost 9:30, and it's still 97 at Eagle Pass. It's so hot. 83 at George West, 95 at Cotulla, and same thing at Pearsall. Tonight's timeline, by about midnight, lower to middle 80s, and then back down into the 70s by early tomorrow morning. Now, I do want to talk about this extensively. This is the beginning of an active pattern over the next 3 to 4 days. It starts off with Dallas and North Texas. That's where they're going to see a lot of rain. Matter of fact, you can see where the action is. These yellow, orange boxes represent active severe thunderstorm warnings. So, for example, I mean, look at that. So anywhere near Abilene, if you have any friends between Abilene, Breckenridge, Graham, north of I-20, this is where like really dangerous severe storms are going. Destructive threat, meaning hail, lightning, cloud of ground lightning, gusty winds, all going to be a threat with these storms as they continue to push southeast. Even some of these storms, even earlier in the Panhandle, but right now they are producing tornadoes. These particular tornadoes are in Oklahoma, so just kind of right along the border of Oklahoma and Texas. There's Sherman, there's Durant, Boswell, west of Paris, Texas. So these are dangerous thunderstorms. Now this is very important because you know what we're seeing right now. Let me see if I can circle this. This particular region right here. We're going to watch this particular area Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon, and then Wednesday and Thursday as well, because this particular area, thunderstorms are going to continue to form, and then because of the upper level winds aloft, they're going to help transport some of that rain in our direction. Is it going to be everywhere? No. But some of those storms could move into the hill country and towards San Antonio on Tuesday and on Wednesday. So we're hoping for that to happen because remember, June, it's the, so it's not summer yet. Summer officially begins on June 20th. It's still technically spring, but it feels like summer, right? And remember, summertime, June, July, August, typically just brings heat, triple-digit weather, sunny skies, and no rain. Rain does happen in July and August, but rarely, right? It just feels like that. It always feels like it's hot every day, sunny and hot every single day. So the more we can really catch up on our rainfall, because the last couple of weeks have been great. May wrapped up with an awesome end to it with pretty good rainfall. That last week of May alone was just beneficial and just provided a nice surplus of rainfall. By the way, it didn't really help the drought too much. It put a small dent in like the hill country. Instead of like exceptional drought, they're now an extreme drought. So yes, it's going down a little bit, and every little bit helps, that's for sure. But we need more, and we're looking for a sign. We need something, and this is a sign. So on Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to watch this particular area that I highlighted, and some of those thunderstorms that develop out in West Texas. They have the possibility and potential at moving through San Antonio, the hill country, Tuesday, Wednesday, and maybe down to Thursday as well. So I'm going to watch that very, very closely. Look at the severe threat for Dallas, North Texas. This is a level 4 out of 5 for damaging wind gusts, for large destructive hailstones, for rotation, tornadic winds. This is all the highest threat for late tonight through tomorrow morning. So if you have any friends or family in this highlighted area, especially that level 3 to level 4 out of 5, give them a call. Storms are going to move through Dallas, if not already. They're moving just north of Abilene right now, but I think we had a couple of thunderstorms from earlier this evening in that area. But yeah, that is the threat for tonight for North Texas. Okay, so we were talking about the potential for us. So tomorrow evening, there may be 1 or 2 showers around from here to the hill country. It's not going to be a lot. Mostly dry and hot tomorrow, mid-90s, sunny skies. Notice right there, so let's rewind that back. So a lot of our models are indicating and kind of suggesting this right here. So this is Tuesday morning, Monday night into Tuesday morning and into Tuesday afternoon. The storms that develop out near Lubbock, San Angelo, watch how they just move down right there, Lubbock, late Monday night. They move in from Lubbock to San Angelo, and they ride the upper level winds all the way down southeast towards San Antonio. A lot of them weaken. That's a big takeaway. But we still have an opportunity Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon for a couple of hit or miss showers, maybe a few thunderstorms in the area. We're going to hope for that happening because we do want it to happen as much as possible. Same thing Wednesday and Thursday. So it's not all day rain, but the rain that moves through could be heavy at times. And most importantly, just bringing down the temperatures. We saw daytime highs in the mid-90s this weekend, and that'll bring down the daytime highs into the lower 90s and upper 80s. So a little bit cooler. So again, that northwest flow aloft will help transport some of that rain in our direction Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Here is just one look at how much rain we could see. The models are kind of going back and forth. I think this is just on average. So in San Antonio and around the metro, on average, 1 to 2 inches of rain between now and pretty much Friday. The next 5 to 6 days, next 7 days. So not in one time, not one day is going to produce this rain. This is over about 7 days of accumulated rainfall. Excuse me, anywhere towards Austin, Bryan, College Station, Dallas, Central Texas, that's where they could see upwards of 3 to 4 inches of rain between now and Friday and Saturday. But I'm picturing the San Antonio area on average 1 to 2 inches of rain, but there could be some areas, if you're lucky enough, if your neighborhood is lucky enough to get caught under one of those large, heavy downpours, that could easily drop, 2 to 3 to maybe 4 inches of rain in just a few hours' time, if you're lucky enough. But again, on average, 1 to 2 inches of rain. All right, here's the 14-day forecast. In the next 3 days, will there be any severe weather from Luis? Yeah, there's a possibility. Tuesday and Wednesday. I think mostly just scattered rain with a few thunderstorms in the area, but the main threat, if you do get caught under a strong to severe storm, probably just gusty winds, maybe some isolated, very isolated street flooding in some areas Tuesday night into Wednesday. Hail will probably be a bigger threat farther north, but that's always a possibility, especially in late May, early June. It's just so hot, it's humid. Those two factors alone just kind of contribute to elevated thunderstorms that can produce those kind of severe weather parameters. How is the weather on Friday for San Antonio? I'm driving to Houston on Friday from Alicia. Let's see. So let's actually look at one of the forecast models. We looked at this one for some of the rain that's possibly moving our way. For Friday, there could be some isolated showers Friday. I would say mostly towards Houston, so heads up if you are traveling towards Houston on Friday. That's probably where some of the more scattered to numerous showers will be Friday afternoon. In San Antonio, I-35, Austin, in our area, probably just a couple of spotty showers. Nothing severe for that window. When did you say the gusty winds in San Antonio last week? What do you mean, Jose? When did we have gusty winds in San Antonio last week? I'd have to look back at some of the data, Jose, for gusty winds. I'm talking about 30, 40, 50 mile an hour wind gusts. Because some of those storms did produce some gusty winds the last week of May. But now we're in the first weekend of June. So let me know, Jose. All right, so here is, let me go back to the 14-day. Tomorrow it's dry. If you have any plans outdoors, it's just going to be hot. Mid-90s tomorrow. Sunny skies, a couple of clouds overhead, just like today. Small chance at an evening, overnight, isolated shower Monday night. Better chance Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon as our next weather system approaches. Same thing on Wednesday, which is why we have an alert set. Depending on what rain chances do and the computer guidance, kind of hints at us Thursday and Friday. We may increase those chances for rain from 30 to 20 to 40 to 50, depending on what happens with the forecast guidance and the trends for rain chances Thursday and Friday. But right now, best chance at rain Tuesday and Wednesday. It looks like by the weekend we start to clear out. A very hot weekend in store, highs in the mid-90s, sunny, and lows in the mid-70s. So right now, we're looking at that in our area. Jose, if you can, message me on social media, Jose, like on Facebook or on Instagram. We're going to, I'll look back at the data for some of that wind data, because I know you're asking about your friend's neighbor tree falling down in your yard, messing up your fence. So again, message me on social media. I'll look at some of the data from last week. It's probably because of the storms in late May, not necessarily last week, but in late May we had some of those rain showers and storms move through, and some of those probably produced some gusty winds, probably 40, 50 miles an hour. So again, message me on social media. Okay, so here's your 14-day forecast, guys. Mid to upper 90s tomorrow, 93 Tuesday, 91 Wednesday, and rain chances continue through Thursday and Friday, which we'll take because June, it can be a hot and dry month, and we'll take any rain chance we can get with the drought continuing extreme to exceptional across south central Texas.